Welcome to Teachings from the Masters with Daryl Shaun Price.
Hi, welcome. I want to talk to you today about mindfulness, why that's such a powerful tool for you creating your own reality. As we get into this, we're going to really talk about the power of your mind. Your mind is such an amazing gift. It is the machine that was given to you to help you turn energy into experience, turning energy into matter. And there's several different ways and several different tools that your mind has to do that. The first that we talked about in a previous episode on manifesting miracles is imagination. Whatever you imagine most, with the most feeling, is the reality you experience. Because imagination plus feeling, and whichever one has the most feeling, not the most good feeling, the most feeling as far as quantity. It could be good, bad, it could be fear, it could be love. Whatever imaginative idea you have felt the most gets put into your subconscious. That's where the beliefs are. The subconscious creates the reality you experience. The subconscious creates the programming that says, oh, based on this that you're feeling, this is life. And this is how it works. Then there's your conscious thoughts, which have a very, very important role. So your imagination is where things start, that spark of creation. That's where, I'm going to turn this energy of creation that is your spirit into an experience. Whatever you feel the most gets deposited in your subconscious that creates beliefs that now creates the reality you are experiencing. Now, for you to experience it, you have your conscious thoughts. You see something, you process it. You hear something, you process it. You experience something, you process it. Those are your conscious thoughts you have throughout the day. And they all work together. And the beauty of mindfulness is when you are practicing living a mindful life, when you are living in alignment so that you are mindful all the time, it makes sure all the pieces are operating at their full efficiency. And I'll explain how that works in a minute. But first, I want to do a little experiment with you. So I want you to take a moment right now. Just close your eyes. Take a deep breath through the nose, out through the mouth. Now imagine a leaf. Just let an image of a leaf come to you, or a memory, whatever it is, but I want you just to imagine a leaf. Take a few moments to look at all the details. Now open your eyes. Now I bet you could describe to me the color of the leaf, maybe what tree it came from, the shape of it, the state it was in. I did not tell you what color to create. I did not tell you what tree it needs to come from. I did not tell you what setting the leaf needs to be in. Your imagination created an experience that is not in front of you right now. And that is the birth of the reality you are creating, your imagination. You are a powerful creator. When you're living in alignment, we're going to talk about how mindfulness helps with that. But when you're living in alignment, you will naturally create what is your happiest life. And that'll be what you feel the most that gets put into your subconscious. So I'm guessing most of you are not going to become so obsessed with feeling about that leaf that you imagine that now the reality is you have to find that leaf. And that's okay. We have lots of imaginations all day long, but we don't put a lot of feeling behind, or they're just ideas, and that's fine. That just keeps our mind working. The important thing here is for you to really focus on the reality you want to create with your imagination while being mindful. And I know this sounds kind of contradictory. And this is where a lot of people that I work with get confused. Well, but if I'm visualizing and imagining this life of abundance and health and happiness, but I'm just being mindful in the life I have, then aren't I putting attention on what I don't want? Well, no. That's where the different parts of your mind come into play. And your heart will play a role in this as well. We'll talk about that as we get into it. But let me lay this out. So, the energy of creation, your spirit, which is the energy of creation, is constantly vibrating at what is the happiest life you could have right now. All of those vibrations get turned into ideas by your mind. You imagine them. So those ideas, those desires that you have, they aren't fleeting. If you have a desire, because your mind is translating whatever this is, this energy that is your happiest life, into something that your conscious mind can understand, an idea, a concept, an experience, an image. Now, the ones that have the most feeling and that you focus on the most are the ones that go into the subconscious and start to create that reality for you to experience. The trick is, most of the time, people are not aware of what their imagination is doing. And it goes something like this. So let's say from the previous episode where I talked about manifesting miracles, you really got clear about some desire you wanted to create. And you started to really lean into, I want to imagine that. And I want to put my energy in that. And whatever that looks like, you're now on the beautiful beach on a vacation with a happy life, with a significant other that you absolutely love, who's in love with you, and it feels great. Okay, you imagined it, you created it, you felt it, boom. It's getting put into the subconscious. And there's lots of seeds there. But what you experience is the one that has the most weight. So if you did that and then went right back to a life of, oh my gosh, everything I see, look, there's a bill there and I'm scared. And what if I can't pay it? And oh my gosh, there's rent going up. And what if I lose my job? And those are the thoughts you have on a regular basis. Those are the ones that get the most weight because you felt them the most. The fear of whatever that is. And right now you're probably feeling a little overwhelmed. Well, yeah, but how can I stop those thoughts? If something happens, it happens. Yeah, it does. But think about what's happening. Let's take a bill. Oh no, this bill went up. I don't have the money to pay it. That's an experience you're having. Here's the reality. You're going to open the bill. All you're doing at that moment is opening a bill and reading numbers. Everything else is imagination. Unless you're paying it right now. Okay, you opened the bill, you saw the numbers. Whenever it's due, you may or may not have the money to pay it. But you having the fear, I won't have the money to pay it because there's not enough money, because I haven't made enough, because the bill went up, whatever it is imagination. Anytime you have a thought about something that is not actually happening and experiencing right now, you tap into your imagination. And this is why mindfulness is so important. When you are mindful, you are focused on only what is happening now as it is happening now. No ideas of what's going to happen because of this. No imagination about, well, this will lead to this, which means there's not going to be any emotion attached to it. You stop creating that reality. And I get this is easier said than done. I get this takes some practice. But I'll tell you, once you start to live mindfully, you start to be so free and at peace from the rapid emotional shifts and the mind racing that probably is plaguing you right now, because it does for most people in society. And this is where a lot of the people that I work with struggle. And this is where I do a lot of hand holding to help the clients I'm working with get to the point that whatever they're experiencing, they experience without judgment. You know, there's an old Taoist parable, and I use this one a lot because there's some great wisdom in it. But there's an old Taoist parable about a farmer. He has a small farm. He has a son who helps him. He has one horse. And one day, his horse breaks free and runs off into the woods. And his neighbors come and they say, oh my gosh, how unlucky are you? Oh, what a horrible thing to happen. Now you don't have a horse to pull the plow, and what are you going to do about your crops? You have such bad luck. And he looks at them and says, maybe. The next day, the horse comes back with 3 wild horses following it. Now the farmer has 4 horses. And so the neighbors come over. Wow, what a lucky man you are. Look how blessed you are. What a great thing that this happened to you. Now you have 4 horses. You just became so much more wealthy. What a great thing to happen. And the farmer says, maybe. And then a couple weeks later, while trying to tame one of the wild horses, his son falls off and breaks his leg. And now his son can't really help on the farm. And so the neighbors come over again and go, oh my gosh, how unlucky are you? What a horrible thing to happen. Your son can't help you. How are you going to bring the crops in? This is such a bad thing. Farmer says, maybe. And then a couple days later, the Imperial Army comes through this town and is pulling all of the sons of all the families into the Imperial Army to go to the front lines to fight in a war that they're losing, which means they're probably not going to survive. So the neighbors come and say, oh, how lucky you are. Your son had a broken leg. Now he's not going to be recruited into the army. Now your son will survive the war because he happened to break his leg. What a good thing that happened. And the farmer said, maybe. Now I want to point this out for a reason. It's not that the farmer didn't care about anything that's happened. He was living mindfully. He knew this was an experience. Whether it's good or bad, it's only based on his beliefs. This is just an experience. I lost my horse. Okay, that's what happened now. Oh, I gained 3 more horses. Okay, that's what happened now. Oh, my son broke his leg. Okay, that's what happened now. Oh, my son isn't getting recruited into the army. Okay, that's what happened now. He wasn't focused on letting his imagination go wild that said, oh, because this happened, these things are now going to happen and it's horrible and this is going to happen. Had he focused on that, maybe he would have struggled and lost the farm and had things spiral, because his subconscious creates the reality of what he imagines the most. So for you to truly master creating miracles and everything in your life, it's a pretty simple formula. Will take some practice. I'm going to warn you right now. But it is a very simple formula. You imagine the life you desire. Imagine it until you can feel it. Then you stay in that feeling. Whatever imagination has the most feeling behind it will be what your subconscious creates. The fact that you felt it at all means that seed is now in the subconscious. That potential is there. So imagination plus feeling puts the seed in the garden of the subconscious. The ones that grow are the ones that get the most water, the ones that have the most emotion attached to that idea. So throughout your day, as you're doing things, something happens, let it happen. It's just an experience. Observe it as it is. Which that's the point of your conscious mind, is just to bring in data from what you're observing. I saw this, I heard this, I tasted that. That's it. So how do you do this? I'll give you a couple simple things that you can work on. First off, whenever you're doing something simple that you would probably do on autopilot, getting dressed in the morning, take a moment and pay attention. Oh, white shirt. I love my white shirt. I'm going to put on my white shirt. It feels good to put on my white shirt. I said this out loud for a while till I got used to focusing on what is exactly happening in front of me consciously. No, I didn't go wild with my imagination and say, oh, because I put on my white shirt, someone's going to notice my white shirt that'll do this and this and this. Or, oh no, in my white shirt, I look like this. And what if people judge me because of it? No, I'm putting on my white shirt because it feels good to put on my white shirt. That's it. I don't know what's going to come from it. Maybe nothing. It doesn't matter. This is what I'm doing. When you prepare food, prepare the food. Put your mind on, ooh, smell that. Ooh, taste that. Ooh, listen to the sizzling, whatever it is. Start to focus your attention on what is happening right now, because automatically it shifts your energy from the imagination in the mind running wild to this moment. And the more you focus on this moment mindfully, the less your imagination runs wild, the easier it is for you to choose where to put that imagination power so you can create the life you want most. Do you realize how powerful you are? Your life right now. Your life right now is what you have imagined with the most feeling, good or bad. That's how powerful you are. No matter what is happening right now, it is whatever has been in your imagination with the most feeling attached to it. And therefore, your subconscious creates that reality as a program. The only purpose of experiences is the feedback for the reality you've created. Now, this is where your heart comes in. And I promised you I'd get to that, so let's go. When you have an experience and it is a feeling of peace, lean into that. Be in that experience. When you have an experience and it is not a feeling of peace, move away from that. Shift to another experience. So, let's go back to the bill. You open the bill. Oh no, the bill is more than I thought it would be. I haven't made enough money. How am I going to pay this? It's due in 15, 20 days. This imagination going wild about you're going to be in trouble. What if something happens? Is it going to be bad? Is it going to hurt me, etc.? Probably doesn't feel good. Oh, well, then I'm going to move away from it. I'm not paying it right now. I open the bill. I'm aware of it. Put it away. Now, where do I focus my attention that does feel like peace? And this will take some practice. You have trained your imagination to go wild with every piece of data that you've been receiving. Your imagination is most powerful when the ideas come from your spirit, not from the feedback of your conscious thought. This is why, and you'll hear me say this over and over again, we don't believe our senses and we don't believe our conscious thoughts. Because all they are is giving us feedback of the reality we have created, not the reality we can create. And once your imagination is that reality for you, once you believe it so much that that's what you feel all the time, and you very easily start to move away from anything that doesn't feel like that, it has to be created for you. And it will be quickly. Really, there is nothing greater than the power of you. There really isn't. And I'll tell you, acting this way is acting in faith. The faith that your spirit, the energy of creation, is already vibrating at what is your happiest life. And if you listen to that and focus your imagination on that, you will have naturally your happiest life and manifest miracles. To act on faith in every tradition, to act on faith is to ignore what is right in front of you and believe something that is not seen. You know, there's a passage in the Bible that says, if you were to have faith the size of a grain of a mustard seed, you could say unto that mountain, move, and it would be moved. Well, of course, your conscious mind and beliefs say, I can't move a mountain. That's dumb. I'm not going to sit there and mentally move this mountain. Of course, because faith to create miracles requires you not to use the feedback you're receiving through your senses as reality, because then you're stuck in what you already have. The faith that could do things like move mountains requires you to be the master of your imagination. So when you're having an experience, you have that experience only. I'm sipping tea. It tastes good. I feel the warmth in my body. I feel the liquid flowing down my throat. I'm observing. I am not judging. I am not giving it meaning. I am not deciding what's going to happen because of this. If it feels like peace, I will continue to sip tea. If I take a sip of tea and it doesn't feel good, I will say, well, I'm done with this now. Let go of the whys. You do not know why you're having this experience, except that it was something that you imagined with enough force that it created it. But there's always a bigger picture. Because here's the beauty of how special, important, and powerful you are. The energy of creation itself, that energy that exists in all things, that has created the entire universe as it is, flows through you as your spirit. And even if you are stuck in this pattern of repeating over and over and over and over again, because all you're doing is responding and reacting to what you are experiencing externally, your spirit's still guiding you as much as it can without taking away your power to create your reality. So it will put experiences in front of you that you will believe based on your current beliefs that'll get you one step further. And the more you try to figure out why this happened, what to do about it, how to react to it, etc., external, the less and less and less you give power to your imagination to truly listen to your spirit. So, be mindful means you are now freeing up your imagination to focus on what you want most, not running away with what is now. Okay? I hope you got a lot out of this. And as always, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Happy to answer. And if you want more help on living in alignment, living mindfully, really becoming this master of miracles, go to DarylShaunPrice.com. Go check out the Power of You 2-Week Transformation. I guide you every day in short 15-minute lessons and guided meditations on living in alignment and manifesting miracles in your life. I'd love to help you too. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with somebody who it would help. I'll see you next time.